Good morning, fellows. On my Island Scary Mansion community. It is April 11th, 2024 at 6:36 a.m. Now, yes, this is new. I am up at 6 o'clock in the morning recording this podcast. Why? Because this is pretty much the only chance I get to, record this podcast. And before I start the video, I would like to say that the kid that's mentioned in this video, please don't go and harass him. This video is not to shit or target transgenders or gays in any way because I know how some people in today's community can get. But for some from my past few podcasts, I always talked about how like kids and sexual, abuse and pretty much, a lot of illegal shit going on between our children. And I even made a podcast, I think it was last year, a couple months ago, about how kids aren't always victims because of the stuff that they do and, how they, just be talking to anybody online. And sometimes that person that they talk to online, regardless of age, actually becomes, comes out to be some kind of child predator. Well, now I have even more claims and reasoning why children should really never be considered victims in these situations. So I was on the. So long story goes, me and my sister, we was just minding our business downstairs in our home, and I was, scrolling through Twitter, while talking to her about stuff with, YouTube and the game that we released. By the way, go download. I will put the link in the description. I did say if this game gets 10 downloads this month that I will create a new one. So, and this do not apply to the English one because I know some of my audience is from the United States and, some of them are from South Korea. So, that's okay. And that's why I'm Danny, like, you don't even have to play it, just download it because I really want to make new games for you guys. And I would really be really just extremely upset and pissed off if I ever like found out that 3 weeks and 4 days of my life went to waste just for like literally no one to play the game. All right. But we were just talking about the game and all that kind of mess, and then I run into this kid. This is not even a kid. I didn't even know this was a kid at first, just from the content being posted. But you know how we like on Twitter, you have like home pages and whatnot, and for you pages, like TikTok, and it just show you random shit. And these are even from people that you don't follow, but could have some sort of um correlation with the people that you do follow. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So this person I am mentioning, I don't know his real name. I'm not trying to know his real name. I'm not trying to get him doxxed or anything. This video and this podcast is being made completely out of concern for this child and for every other child out there who identifies as gays or trans. This person's name is a Foofy Femboy Fox. Okay, so you guys, I okay. So the thumbnail, you guys already see his avatar, but I'm pretty much going to read what his bio on Twitter says. Okay, single, gay femboy with the rainbow flag. Slightly silly, nya, like the Japanese word for meow when you talk about cats. No gore, pedophiles or zoos. Frowny face. I am 13, Austie 15, and then something else with like tell you I don't know what that is. Um he also have a Discord. Never joined it, never will. And his location is Gaytown. And he is followed by somebody named Shredster Wolf, who I follow. All right, which obviously is an adult because I don't follow minors on this on Twitter, really on anywhere. And if I ended up following a minor or commenting on something that a minor made, not knowing it's a minor, and I quickly find out right then and there it's a kid, then I take and I block them. All right, I don't cuss them out. I don't do any of this. So let's just take out the 13 aspect. If I read you that bio, how old would you think that user would be? Because I would think that that user would be probably around my age, probably 17, 18, or 19. But even if it was a 17-year-old, in my country, 17 is still federally considered a minor. So here's the deal. Why would you sit there and pretty much post stuff that don't scream I'm 13 years old. You call yourself a femboy. If you don't know what a femboy is, it's a girl, it's a guy that, likes to dress up like a girl, or that's, extremely submissive. It really is used in a more sexual and derogatory, way. And in my opinion, as a female, because I obviously don't, hinder this stuff anymore, I think it's just like a kind of a fucked up way of calling somebody gay, or calling a guy who likes girl things, gay. And I'm already against that already. So like, that, yeah, I guess you do you. I don't care. That's not my kid, not my business. But calling yourself a gay femboy, on top of that being a furry, really isn't a good combination, especially that you're 13. Now, you guys are probably sitting here wondering, like, Mary, what the fuck is this kid doing on Twitter that's having you do? Are you just making fun of this kid? Or are you just making a podcast or a rant on this kid just based off his profile? No, I'm not. Because I don't do shit like that. When you go to this, excuse me, when you go to this child's Twitter, he clearly makes like tweets and stuff of people maybe possibly child predators and grown ass pedophiles, grown as men, and they're trying to talk to him, telling him to send nudes, pretty much being inappropriate. One of them said that he had an erection and wanted the 13-year-old kid to help him, And although I can blame the pedophiles for being fucking creeps because they're disgusting, and you're still talking to a kid regardless of what this kid says, this kid is a primary example of children who are not victims in these kind of situations. You're 13 years old. Why would you say that you're gay? You want to know what that means, dude? There's a lot of pedophiles. I watch a lot of predator catching channels like Dads Against Predators and Colorado Pet Patrol, and even CC Unit, even who's that guy? People versus Preds. They catch men that prey on children, and most of these men that they catch are gay. And a lot of times when their decoy poses as a minor, they talk about like, oh, how their family don't really accept them from being gay, how it's really against their religion, and excuse me, they're just looking for comfort, because obviously that's what teenagers do nowadays. And even not nowadays, even in me and Josanna's Generation Z, they did that. When social media became abroad, we would get on social media, they would do that shit. But I had no idea what social media was. My first social media, to be honest with you, that I had was when I was 8 years old, and that's when I had a YouTube account and doing YouTube videos and shit. So, and I was just a little kid, playing with My Little Pony, and I'm going to be honest with you, the shit that I said, and excuse me, the stuff that I said and how I acted, obviously wasn't appropriate for my age, but that's what happens with kids when they watch stuff they're not supposed to watch. All right, so they fall victim to this mess. Now, it's disgusting how these guys are just in his DMs, telling him, I have a heart on, I need you to, get rid of me, or to tell him to, to send nudes, or even sending explicit photos. And one of the photos I saw was too furry for someone that's kissing in like a sexual manner. Obviously, it was obviously meant for sexual purposes. You sent that to a child, which is in illegal terms, sending harmful matter to a child. You already committed a crime when you told the kid that you had an erection. All right, you already committed a crime there. All right, I think it's like enticing a minor, or I know luring a minor is where like an adult tries to get a kid out of their house, or say, oh hey, look, I'm going to come to your house, we can do this and that and the other. I know what that is, but the fact that you were talking what? It's called using a computer to commit a crime. Okay, okay, it's using a computer to commit a crime. Where the fuck? It don't really matter. You see what I'm saying? Because, if, let's just say this person is 13, but they don't put it in their bio, what are the chances that you're going to actually know that this was a kid? This is why kids should not have social media. I've said it a hell of a lot of times. I even posted in my Gilded, in the Discord server, the Spooky Jumpscare Mansion Discord server I'm in. All right, I even posted it, and I'm just gonna read it, word for word. And yeah, I did rage, but I'm not gonna like yell. It's early in the morning, so I try not to yell. So this is what I put. I put children, why kids should not be on the internet, and I put a screenshot of the kid's account. So I said, this child was being approached by online predators, and he would even screenshot the conversation and post it. Now, this is Google Yaya's Generation Alpha. To be honest, I don't blame the predators because look at what they do. How the fuck, because I did put TF because you can't really cuss on this server, but how the fuck are you going to sexualize yourself and put your sexuality out there, nonetheless act like you're older and get pissed at grown ass men talking to you? I said it once and I'm not saying it again. This is what happens when parents don't give a fuck. Your kid falls victim to these sick people, while I can blame the parents, right? Because they're not monitoring their kid. But at the time, your kid's a teenager, 13 years old, damn near in high school, damn near at the house. You shouldn't have to, monitor what the hell they do on the internet. But I also blame the kid. It's never the kid's fault, they say, pretty much. And when I'm not they say, I'm talking about the predator catchers, all right? But I'm not shitting on them. Okay. So how can we blame children for school shootings, threats against their schools, theft, and robbery, and even murder? And even this morning, I saw a kid, a high schooler, on the news in my state for selling drugs in school, but not for sex crimes. Then I said, wake up, America. It's not Fantasyland. Children are no longer innocent and should not be treated as such. They pretty much should be treated like everyone else, all right? They should not be on the internet, let alone saying that they are gay or transgender. And that should have never started with children to begin with. Do you not know when you allow children to engage in that kind of behavior and you make them a target? And I put a shitload, let me see. I put 6 question marks, 7 question marks. You make them a target of suicide. You make them a target of rape. You make them a target of grooming and even murder, because you do have people that are so trans and homophobic that they will actually go out their way to kill these kind of people. They don't give a fuck who you are. You could be a grown ass man as tall as LeBron James, or you can be a kid short as my child, my 5-foot child. All right, and then at that point, you know what you did was wrong. That's the final words. And I'm going to shut the frick up. Stop, wake up, quit with your shit. Anytime children are putting themselves out there, they need to be reported. It's not safe for them, and I'm making a podcast on this soon. I said this yesterday at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And then I also got like responses, even from a friend of mine who posted a meme saying, why do you, he said it was a meme of like Woody from Toy Story yelling at Buzz, and then it says, you are a minor. And then he says, why even call yourself a gay fanboy as 13s? Now again, like I said at the beginning, I'm not doing this to hate on trans people, because remember Toby the Topster? The guy who accused me of grooming him when Chromosome put me through what he put me through? He's transgender and he's 13, 14 years old. Guys, this kind of shit should never have started with children. And I don't know if I told you guys this. I don't remember if I did, but I actually ended up started some kind of argument on Twitter back in the summer of 2023 because some I don't know if this was like a couple who posted this or what, but some rando on Twitter posted saying that kids should have a sexuality, and me being pretty much being the only sensible one on there saying that kids should not have a sexuality. They should not, especially if you're talking about, young kids like 5 and 6-year-olds. They should not have a sexuality. You want to know why? Because they're children. They're children. It's kind of silly and rather disturbing how people would get mad at you for saying children should not have a sexuality. Children should not know if they're gay or if they're, straight. And even though they made a lot of good points, like, oh, in fairy tales, it was always like, oh, a prince kisses a princess. That was it's man and woman, boy and girl type shit. Okay, well, that's fucking fairy tales. But when it comes down to gay or trans, you have a lot of people that are willing to, that are pretty much sexual deviants, that are willing to do this kind of shit to our children and not even be pedophiles. They just want sex. That's all it is. So when you are a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old kid and you say, hey, I'm gay, your friend's gonna be like, ha ha ha, okay, cool. But if you go on the internet and say that, you're gonna have a lot of grown men, maybe in their 50s, maybe in their 60s, saying, you know what? Oh, this kid says they're gay. I don't care if they're 14. I don't care if they're 13. I'm going to talk to them because they're gay. They're just like me. Or, oh, they're trans. They're just like me. I'm gonna talk to them. And then the shit gets disgusting really quick, and then your kid is another victim of a child sex trafficking ring, or another rape victim. Let me tell you something about molestation, especially as a minor. Let me tell you about that. That shit starts a vicious cycle. And a lot of child molesters out here are not even gay. They're fucking straight. And that shit can happen. You can get raped by a straight male as a little boy or as a little girl, and then be attracted to the opposite gender because of that. You know, as a girl, you probably you probably end up growing up too fast, probably start having sex with a lot of guys, even start trying shit with girls. You know, same thing with guys. Oh, I like men now because a man touched me, even though I know it's wrong. I don't care, or it's not even I don't care. It's like, but this is how I am because that trauma, it hits you upside the head like a baseball bat. You know, and the disturbing thing too is about gays and trans is the fact they push this on children. Nobody could give a fuck less if you're an adult, but the fact that children are tied up to this, and yes, there are a lot of cartoons and cartoon characters who display being trans or being pan or being bi or being hetero or even being gay. The fact that you're trying to normalize this with children isn't right. And speaking of normalization, I forgot to mention this when I made the podcast about the PAVE Act in the United States. Um, don't stop normalizing adult behavior with children. Stop it. It's not okay for kids to masturbate. It's not okay for kids to touch each other. And it's sure as hell not okay for kids to view, nonetheless, look at porn. Okay? Or draw porn, because I actually have seen a 10-year-old on DeviantArt. I'm presuming it's a 10-year-old because of the art style. On DeviantArt, I don't know if you know what Battle for Dream Island is, or I don't know, but it was like this character who looks like an X, and another one looks like a 4. I don't really remember. I don't know what it is, but I see it a lot. But is it Battle for Dream Island? Yeah, that one, because my cousin likes that. My cousin likes that show. Pretty much fucking. And this is a kid doing this, a child. And yeah, even though he had a lot of comments saying, well, get off the platform, you're a minor, and pretty much having sense about what the heck this kid was doing. The fact that sites like DeviantArt and Twitter pretty much allows this shit and take all day, like YouTube just takes all fucking day, just trying to take it down. It goes against their terms of service, whatever you want to call it, community guidelines, whatever. This is disgusting. And I already reported the account. The 13-year-old femboy guy, I already reported his account as minor at risk. And there's literal proof that he's at risk. Look at what the shit he do. Guys, you're probably gonna get mad at me, but I don't want you to flip out just yet. There was an account that I was following who posted lolly. All right. He was drawing, well, he would repost it, but he would post his pictures as well, and it would be like of these, like, these cute little anime girls or whatever. Bro, cartoons. Remember, guys, regardless if it's called CP or not, regardless if Lolly and Shaw is considered a child porn or not, these are fucking cartoons. These are cartoon characters that don't exist. These are anime weeaboo characters that don't exist. Why would Twitter, hear me out now, Twitter suspended his account for potentially posting child pornography, but this minor, this real life breathing God-made child is on Twitter calling himself a femboy, being interacted with by pedophiles, and this account, he's been on this account since 2022, 2023. Let me fact check that. He's been on this account since 2022. He joined since September 2022. This September will make it 2 years that he's been on this account. And you guys didn't think to say, oh no, this is a kid that's at risk. This is a minor that's at risk. He's saying he's gay, and these disgusting fucks, these nasty child fuckers are contacting this kid. All right, regardless, you see what I'm saying? Why would you suspend account in one account for drawing, but keep this one up with when a real kid is at risk? And there's another thing I want to say too that I learned multiple times throughout my life. It don't matter who the fuck you talk to on the internet, to be honest with you, because you never know who that person is behind the screen. As I post Gugu and Yaya content and, you know, these kind of podcasts and shit, you guys really don't know me. I can say that I'm 19 and I'm really 27. Which, why would I do that? I don't know. I can say that I'm African American and I'm really Hispanic. You don't know that. You don't know that. You can't take everything, you know, to heart when it comes down to people. Now, yes, a lot of people who are on the internet tell the truth, and to be honest with you, I am one of them. They say, hey, look, I'm 25, I'm single, whatever, DMs are open, whatever, I go talk to them. Yeah, the DMs open, and I stop talking to them because I'm not really interested in them, you know? But if this is true, let's just say this is true, because like I said, you can't really believe everything on with everybody and what they say. Even in real life, you can't, take heart into what they say. Even if this was, true, why do you think that was a good idea? Why? And then when you do this kind of shit, you're not only putting yourself in danger, but you're putting everybody in that household in danger, and potentially your whole entire family. When Emanuela's mama threatened us with law enforcement, sorry, I thought I heard something. When Emanuela's mom threatened us with law enforcement because of what her daughter was doing to us and how she didn't want to be a parent, do you not know how many families she put at risk there just by that threat? She put 3 families at risk. She put my family at risk, my sister Josanna's family at risk, and my boyfriend's family at risk. That's 2 different countries in 2 different states that you put at risk just because you are a piss poor parent and you don't want to monitor your kid. Emanuela is still on the platform. She's under a new channel name now. She's still on the platform. She's 12 years old, not supposed to be on the platform. How old are you supposed to be to have a YouTube channel? 13. But these social media sites, they don't give a fuck about kid safety, yet they want to have the audacity to put child safety into their site. Look, I can't tell Mark Zuckerberg, the man over Facebook, that you don't give a shit about kids. and he clearly says, well, you're supposed to be 13 and over to, sign up, for Facebook. I can't tell him that. And every single time he sees like people interacting with kids or saying inappropriate shit about kids, he takes it down. I can't tell him that. But what can I tell for the CEO of Twitter, Elon Musk? I can say, you don't give a shit about children. You really don't give a fuck. Because you sat here and you suspended an account for sharing fucking Lolly and Shada drawings, not even real children. This guy don't even have no attraction to any children. I follow this guy. Almost every other tweet he posted was saying Lolly is not pedophilia. Lolicon and Shadacon is not considered pedophilia, and it's not considered pedophilia. If it's any paraphilia, it would be tunaphilia, because it's fucking, it's cartoons. They're not real. Now, if you're posting Lolly and Shada of real kids, like you're drawing a cartoony portrait of like an actual child, then yeah, that's fucking disgusting. All right, because it's based on, or if it's not, it's an actual child. Okay, like some stupid shit Shadman did back then, and he ended up getting arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. And I would actually expected him to get arrested for child pornography. All right, but you have a kid here, a 13-year-old. He says he's 13. All right, you have a 13-year-old here. Grown men talking to him, sending him shit, telling him, trying to solicit news from a minor, because that's another crime, that's another felony. All right, and nothing's being done about this. This is okay, but Lolly and Shada isn't. This isn't making any fucking sense. Really isn't. And I hope the folks who accused me of this kind of shit, of child pornography, I hope the folks in pedophilia are fucking listening, that this is world now. This is your world. This is our world. This is what we live in. We live in a world where people get called pedophiles over drawings, but when it comes down to real kids, oh, it's all okay. Oh, they're gay. Oh, they're trans. Oh, they're bi. It's fine. No, the fuck, it's not. No, it is not fine. It's not fine. It's not funny. It ain't cute. I wouldn't be surprised today or tomorrow if his family found his shit and took him off the platform. I really wouldn't. But you know what? In Generation Alpha, in this generation, this is all kids do nowadays. This is why we as adults, and even some older kids can agree, like 16 and 17-year-olds can agree, children should not be on the fucking internet. The more kids you have on the internet, the more likely you're going to run into the pedophile. And guess what? The more likely a pedophile, the less likely, not depends, that they'll get arrested. Because back then in me and Josanna's generation, in Generation Z, we were children. We would play at the park. We'd get ice cream. We would go to school. We'll pretty much do a lot of shit that kids really don't want to do today. All right? And when we get preyed on, them motherfuckers get locked up right then and there just for fucking looking at us. Because it was disgusting. They knew how disgusting it is. Now, pedophilia is such a common term. It's such an abused and misused term that now law enforcement's like, well, we're going to need this amount of evidence holding a Bible to arrest this guy. This is why, too, some predator catchers, like DAP and sometimes Colorado Pet Patrol, even though they are in correlation with the police, don't get a lot of arrests because they will be like, well, in order for it to be a crime, a real minor has to be involved in all that mess. Wait. Why? So you're telling me you will wait till an actual child gets abducted, raped, and murdered before you can even do anything? Because let me tell you something. Even though this 13-year-old, quote unquote, when it comes to being a decoy, isn't real, it is still a real person that could have actually been 13 behind screen. Okay, that's an actual person behind the screen. It's not AI. It's not no cartoony shit. It's an actual real person behind that screen. So now pedophiles, even though they're morally on a rise, even though it's worse now because they're on a rise, they're mainly attacking our children who aren't even heterosexual. Now they're attacking our kids who are gays and who are transgenders because it's such a hated group. Gays and trans, for some reason, aside from race, aside from African Americans, are such a hated group now that if you go out and you say you're gay and all that kind of mess, especially if you go on like sites that have no mercy, they'll tell you to KYS, they'll tell you to kill yourself, they'll tell you to drink bleach, do all this extracurricular shit that nobody wants to hear. Even if you're trans, I'll be like, oh, go drink bleach and all that kind of shit. Now, me being a Christian, I'm obviously against homosexual marriage. I'm obviously against trans people being transgender, men thinking they're women and women thinking they're men. I'm obviously against that, but that doesn't mean that I hate the people. And a lot of times when you say that you're against something and you really don't elaborate on it, they'll say, you know what? You're homophobic, you're transphobic. No, I just don't agree with it. And look, you run your household how you want to run your household, but I'm gonna run mine like I'm gonna run mine. All right. If I say I don't agree with transgenders and I don't agree with transgenders, I don't mean that I won't be friends with transgenders. I still love people. Even though I'm not a people's person, I still love people for who they are. Even if let's just say hypothetically speaking, I had a friend who found himself sexually attracted to kids, and he would get bullied, and he's not attracted to kids anymore. So, but people still call him a pedophile and all that kind of shit. Even though I don't agree with it, as long as he haven't touched a minor, as long as he haven't been in possession of child pornography, that doesn't include drawings, okay? And as long as he never actually had, any, inappropriate contact with a minor, I'm cool with it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna want to like back away from you just because of that. Even though it might not be a good image for me, I still personally have a good heart to still love you for who you are. And you know what? A lot of people who have a sexual attraction to minors, they won't even open up. They're like, no, I don't like kids. Kids are gross. Then next thing you know, you go through their phone and talking to a shitload of kids, a whole schoolyard full of kids. All right, so it's not none of them podcasts where I just shit on gays and trans. Here's another thing. Here's another thing too. When I was a kid, I made a character that was obviously a personification of the Microsoft Xbox and Xbox One. The character was a guy, but he looks like a girl. It kind of remind you of Birdo from Mario. I could proudly say that my character Xbox 360 is transgender. I can proudly say that. And here's another thing. You guys been around Yayaland Scary Mansion as long as me. Do you know who Kokashin and Dokatayu is? Kokashin, all right, is lesbian. Dokatayu is bisexual. Now, let me ask you a question. If I was against, if I not against, but if I was homophobic or transphobic, right? Why would I make characters dealing in that line then? I wouldn't. Okay. Child marriage is a whole different topic I'm going to talk about another day, because I do remember Chromosome telling me that it was a problem because Gugu and Yai were at the time 12 and they were married to each other. And I actually did tell him off. I was in the comfort of my own room. I told him off. I said, look, it's my characters. I can do whatever the fuck I want with my characters. However I want my characters' relationships to be, I want their relationships to be like that. Now, am I planning on like divorcing Gugu and Gaia as children in the future? Probably not. Maybe. It's kind of hard for me to trust me. I had a lot of scenarios where I really wanted to divorce the kids, but it's just kind of hard because there's such a perfect match. It's a Cancer and a fucking Scorpio. It's a perfect match. Okay, but that's another reason why too I age up Gugu and Yaya, so I don't have to deal with that bullshit. And even though a lot of times when you see Gugu and Yaya on my channel, they're the 13-year-old virgins. Go to my Taker and Google Adults corner where you can actually see Gugu and Yaya as adults. All right, because they're just as cute and just as sweet. Not really, no. as they are as 13-year-olds. All right, but I'm getting off track here. All right, but you know, I'm not homophobic. I'm not transphobic. You know, I love everyone equally. I love everyone dearly. All right, if you're needing desire help, I will try my best to help you, because you know I can't really handle some things mentally due to my like stability sometimes. But I'm here to help. You know, I like furries. I think furries are awesome. I don't think furries are zoophiles, and I don't think all furries, you know, are pedophiles. Just like I don't believe that all lolicons and shotacons are pedophiles. I was a tunophile. Excuse me. Before I got baptized, I was sexually attracted to cartoon characters, and they weren't necessarily children. I'm not going to lie to you. Gugu and Gaia being the only, you know, cartoon characters that was on my channel, I was attracted to, you know, but it was because of their design. It wasn't because of their fucking age. Okay, but I was a tunophile because guess what? I wasn't just attracted to Gugu and Yaya. I was attracted to fucking Mario. I loved Bowser. You watch SML? I was attracted to Jeffy. I was attracted to Chef Pee, mainly Chef Pee Pee. Okay, when in the SML universe, I was attracted to a lot of characters that, you know, were pretty much of all ages, but I wasn't really attracted to characters that were pretty much under 12. Okay, you know any 15-year-old characters you were attracted to? No. Any 16-year-old characters you was attracted to at one point? No. I actually don't know how old I don't know how old Kaito is from Vocaloid. I think he's an adult. Okay, cool. Then that's fine with me. But other than that, Gugu and Yai were the only, you know, characters that were underage that, you know, I was attracted to, you know, and I'm not a pedophile. You see what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. I hope to be a mother one day, and I did actually post this on Twitter. And my kids will live in a cartoony house. Actually, I didn't post it on Twitter. I posted it on my Gilded. I was talking to Mr. K on my Gilded. I said my kids will live in a cartoony household, you know, where pretty much every day is a good day in our household, and they won't have like they have very rare access to the internet just because of this you know, of this point. You see what I'm saying? But that's actually started my, you know, and here's another thing too. Here's another thing before you guys start lashing out on me. because I mentioned Gugu and Yaya being underage. I mean, as if y'all already didn't fucking know. All right, before y'all start lashing out on me. When I was a child, I was sexually attracted to Rainbow Dash. I really was. At 9 years old, I was attracted to Rainbow Dash, but I'm not a fucking zoophile. I'm not a pedophile. You guys gotta be careful with these paraphilias and stop using these paraphilias for shit that doesn't make sense. Stop calling lolicons and shotacons pedophiles. Stop calling furries pedophiles. Stop it. It's not okay. Because guess what? If you're like this 13-year-old kid and you're being approached by nasty ass, dirty ass, stinky ass creeps, no one's gonna fucking believe you because the terms zoophile and pedophile for the wrong reasons are being overused, misused, and abused, and they're really starting to lose their shine. Back then, when you heard someone being a pedophile, you're like, ugh, stay away from them. They're disgusting. They're creepy. Now in 2024, you hear someone being called a pedophile, you're like, what's new? Because they use that term all the time. Even kids, when they're like either harassing or cyberbullying or even trolling other children, they even call these other kids pedophiles, and these kids aren't even pedophiles, don't even have anything remotely close to it. Stop it. All in all, what I am trying to say is stop associating children with this shit. Stop trying to sexualize our children by saying, you know what, it's okay for you guys to be 16 and dress out with your belly all out and get piercings and it look like that you're all in your 20s and all that kind of shit. Stop doing that. Stop telling children that it's okay to masturbate. It's not okay to fucking masturbate. It's not okay to participate in any adult activity as a child. It's not okay to do drugs. It's not okay to drink. It's not okay to have sex. It's not okay to rob people. I'm pretty much telling everyone on this podcast the basic necessities in life that you will need. Don't go out doing drugs. It will fuck you up. Don't go out having sex. You might end up catching a disease that will end up killing you over time, like AIDS or HIV or something. Don't go and rob. You go into anybody's property, you have a high chance of getting shot because at least every American, unless they're a felony, every American has at least one gun in their fucking household. Just one. And if you're very unlucky, they might end up having a shotgun or maybe more than one of those. All right? Don't go out and be drinking like that. You will end up killing yourself because of your liver failure. Don't fucking do that. I am a 19-year-old college student, and I have better sense to do this shit. If I was gay, of course I would put it in my bio, but that's because I'm an adult and I would want people to know. But if I was gay and I was a kid, I would not fucking do that shit because I don't even just make myself a target. I make my family a target, my siblings, my grandparents, even my auntie and uncles, even my pet dog. I make everybody a target in that household when it comes down to revealing my age and all that kind of shit. This is a reason why we have civilians catching, child predators, because our children are being put at risk. Now, for those of you guys saying, well, kids should be able to express whether or not they're gay and all that kind of mess, it's not about that. It's about the fact that they're sickos on this internet. If they want to express themselves being gay and shit, they could do that to their little bitty friends that they be fucking talking to. They don't need to be going on the World Wide Web doing that, making contact with everybody on Twitter, and then there's like a bunch of pedophiles and shit. You see what I'm saying? Like on there saying, you know what? Send me some news, babe. I have an erection. I have a boner from looking at you. And but I'm 13. Guys, kids are not innocent nowadays. They're really not. And it's sad. And it hurts. Dog's working. It's sad and it hurts because you know what? When we were children, we had stored innocence. We were at the playground with our friends. We was at friends' house and shit. And then sometimes out of nowhere, if you're very unlucky, you end up getting touched inappropriately. That was scary as a kid. And now in 2024, it's so fucking common. It's so common to see people talking to minors online. It's so fucking common. It kind of just doesn't make any sense with me because it's just, why? Like, come on now. us Gen Z, we had a reason for why we were hypersexualized and all that kind of shit. We have a reason. You children don't have an excuse now. You guys obviously do this for sheer fact of, being attention or whatever, or looking for some validation. Yes, social media is about looking for validation. If you don't have that validation, then you might as well end it. That's pretty much how social media affects you. The fact, though, I am just still stuck on the fact that Twitter suspended a person on their platform for posting pictures of fucking lolly and shadow characters from anime manga, and yet you have a 13-year-old on this damn platform pretty much getting sexually harassed and enticed, just crimes all over by these grown ass men. And even if these men aren't grown, why would you think it's a great idea to contact somebody who is 13 years old because they're gay and they're a fucking femboy and all that kind of shit? Let's just go ahead and turn the tables real quick and say that this wasn't true. You not know how many people will be arrested? Too damn many. Too many to count. Josanna, you got something to say? Them dogs barking. You're loud. Sorry, cause I'm being loud. Yeah. Obviously, if kids are going to be on the internet, then they need to like have some kind of supervision, you know. But like Mary said, at a certain age, as a child, at a certain age, you should not. Your parents shouldn't still have to watch over you, like you are a toddler. But technology is so advanced that there isn't excuse for parents to say, well, I can't always monitor or check my kid's history. You don't got to. There are apps out here and software, that you can download for like, Windows and Mac and Linux and all that kind of shit. And to watch, and block off bad sites and shit. But like when we were growing up, here's a point you forgot to mention, Mary. When we was growing up, and social media was a thing, we weren't even allowed on social media. Some of us didn't even have a phone at no 13. And if we did have a phone, we had an Obama phone. Mm-hmm. The phones that you could do, the government phones. we'll have that. You see what I'm saying? We didn't have no fucking smartphones. And if we found out, like, if our parents found out that we, had stuff like Twitter and YouTube and Instagram and all that kind of shit, we got in trouble for it. And it wasn't, and we could be the age to sign up for the app and still got our asses whooped. We could be 14, 15, 17, damn near out the house and still got our asses whooped because we had an Instagram account or we had a Facebook account and we didn't even have to be posting inappropriate shit on there. You see what I'm saying? We didn't have to. I can remember a classmate of mine when I was in 7th grade. I was 12 years old. She was 13 in 8th grade. And she got her phone taken away because she always had her iPhone and stuff with her. And excuse me, one recently day, excuse me, one measly day, she was in class crying. I'm over here talking about something. What's wrong? She said my parents found out that I had an Instagram account, and I got my phone taken away, my Instagram account shut down. You see what I'm saying? And that was just back then. Now kids can have Instagram as young as 11. Kids can have Snapchat as young as 10. And they take those privileges, because that's what it was. It was a privilege. They take those privileges and they abuse them by posting. Some of them post booty pictures. Others be talking to random people that they don't know, be following random people they don't know. Or in this case of, this situation right here with the foofy femboy guy, just posting, shit that is inappropriate as a 13-year-old to post that you are gay and that you're a femboy, because pretty much everything now when it comes down to being gay, especially being gay, it's porn, it's pornography. If you type in gay, you might be met with some porn. Actually, if you type in something that seemingly innocent, such as gay bareback boys, you are going to run into pornography. That's just how homosexuality is nowadays. It's just everything dealing with not the gender sex, but the behavior sex. Like you You saying, oh well, yeah, I'm gay. Okay, cool, you're gay. That's awesome. Why do you think that it's appropriate for the world to, know that? Generation Alpha is filled with technology and brain rot and shit. Children aren't going outside to play anymore. Children aren't going out shopping anymore. Children are really not going to fucking public school anymore. You see what I'm saying? They're really not. They're attend online and fucking fail that shit. Some kids aren't even gonna go to fucking college. You see what I'm saying? Because we have TikTok and shit and YouTube, and I mean we've been had YouTube since 2005, 2006 when YouTube was released. We've been had YouTube, but we didn't really. YouTube wasn't inappropriate and had a bunch of minors on it like it does now. Because YouTube is another platform that has a bunch of minors, and you have to be careful who you're following. But we also constantly mentions the block button on YouTube. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook have working block buttons to where if you get blocked by a person, you can't see shit that they post. You can't follow them, you can't message them, you can't do shit. When you are blocked on YouTube, the only thing that YouTube is going to do is remove your comment. That's the only thing they're going to do. You can still like, you can still share, you can still subscribe. But the thing that infuriates me about YouTube's block button is that it doesn't stop children from seeing inappropriate content or following people who have inappropriate content, and they know damn well, y'all, children are fucking smart. All right, they're not dumbasses. They're fucking smart. When we Gen Z kids, we were dumbasses, but at the same time, we were innocent. Children are smart as fuck, and they are no longer innocent. You can say all day long, well, a 13-year-old kid can say that he gay and all that kind of shit. You wouldn't be saying that if that was your fucking child. You really wouldn't. You wouldn't say that if it was your kid. If it was your kid on that Twitter page getting contacted by all these disgusting creeps on the internet and shit, you would want to take your kid's phone and fucking smash that shit and then get on another device in that house and delete his shit. You would want to do that. So don't be talking about well, kids could be on the internet doing whatever the fuck they want. No, because if it was your child, you would want that nigga dead. If that was your kid being approached on the internet who by a guy who could be a sex offender, a murderer, a rapist, or whatever the fuck, you would want that nigga on your internet phone dead. And you would want your kid to see counseling. So don't even start that kind of shit. As for the lolly pictures and all that kind of shit, Twitter actually allows that stuff. So maybe he probably didn't even end up getting suspended over that. The guy who posted lolly and shit pretty much could have gotten, suspended because he could have been doing some other shit behind the screen that we won't know. Because Twitter is not just going to suspend you just for no animated porn. They're not going to do that. All right, and if they do, I am very fucking shocked because they need to get rid of children on the internet as well, bro. Especially on like the homepage and that For You shit. Like you could be following nothing but pornography accounts and shit, and all of a sudden, I'm a minor. No pass allowed. Nah, it shouldn't be like that, yo. It really shouldn't. My 2 cents is if you're gonna let your kids be on the internet or at least have these kind of shits and all that kind of mess, monitor it, or at least don't give it to them at all. There's another point that I really want to make. It just crossed my mind. I remember on Twitter a couple of days ago, probably about a week or 2 weeks ago, I was on the phone talking to my boyfriend. I was scrolling on Twitter like usual, like a basic white person. Donald Trump. They had a 17-year-old who had a following of minors who shared a poorly censored dick picture of somebody's cock they sent to supposedly a 13-year-old person. They shared this, and when I saw it, it was infuriating because the people who was replying to that were like 14, 15, and I think one of them was 13. It wasn't this guy, but one of them was 13, and it was just so disgustingly disturbing that you shared a penis picture, and it's poorly censored. It's not even heavily censored. It was poorly censored to a bunch of children, and you're 17, 18 years old. You do that kind of shit, you're 17 about to turn 18. If you do that fucking shit, you're going to end up being charged with a fucking crime. Right. I don't care if it was to prove a point. You don't do that kind of shit. It's kind of sad how I'm 19 years old and I don't even do this shit. Josanna? Right. I don't even do this. I'm 19 years old and I don't send nudes. But I can send nudes if I want to because it's legal. I'm an illegal adult, and so is my boyfriend. Right. We're legal. You're legal too. You're 25 going on 26 years old in October this year. We're all adults here and we don't do none of that shit. It's really just disgusting how kids do this mess and you think it's okay. It's not okay. And some of them who say, oh, I don't think it's okay, secretly thinks they're okay. Stop lying. Stop lying, bro. Just stop. You know what would happen to me if I ended up sending news and I was underage? You know what happened to me? Josanna, if I wouldn't go to juvie, my ass would have got the brakes beaten off me. On top of that, my shit would have been destroyed. Yeah. These kids have it too fucking easy now. They're too easy. And these parents aren't only just merciful, but they're also piss poor and neglectful. Because like you allow your kid, you say, okay, Bonnie, you can have a Twitter. You can have a Twitter, but don't do nothing wrong on it. And Bonnie does something and does a bunch of shit wrong, and you don't even think to one day I'm gonna wake up and check in on my kid's Twitter. That's neglectful. Yeah. This is a bunch of cases of child neglect going on. But that is kind of savage for Twitter to remove the lolly shit, just let a 13-year-old do whatever the fuck they want. That is kind of savage though. I mean, I personally wouldn't have done it. But it was just kind of weird. Josanna, it's disgusting and it actually hurts my heart. As much rage and anger I am showing right now, it actually hurts my heart because children are so precious. Their treasures are young, and some of them still have that innocence, and they're 14 and 15 years old and still have that innocence. And any day now, that innocence can be taken away from them just because of our actions as adults. Mm-hmm. We all have our troubles. We all did shit that was fucked up. Like, for example, when I drew Gugu and Yaya having sex, not unless My Little Pony characters having sex, I can go ahead and assume now, I can go ahead and admit now without any guilt that was fucked up for me to do. But I had a reason. I was traumatized. I just didn't do this shit just to be doing it. Right. I had an actual reason. I thought I was doing this shit just to be doing it. I thought I did this because Gugu and Yaya is cute, but it was a fucking demon on my back that was trauma. Right. Kids nowadays, they share porn, they view porn, they even go as far as drawing and posting porn. All right, they do this and they don't have a reason. They don't have an excuse. Right. They really don't. Because back then, when I started drawing pornography when I was a little girl, I didn't know that it was bad. All I knew was penis and vagina. I didn't really understand the content, of adult content. I didn't understand that. And it wasn't just me. It was the children that I grew up with, too, went through the same thing. And it really just started with My Little Pony. And it's not Lauren Foss's fault. Because at the end of the day, she was just trying to make a show for girls to enjoy that men brutally fucked up. And continue to fuck up. Yeah. They're not. The brony community isn't slowing down anytime soon, guys. They're not. But it's not just them. Catch Teeny Ping is starting to be involved too. Right. It's not just them. We don't. You children today time don't have a reason. If you were born anywhere after 2010, you don't have a reason. You really don't. Right. Y'all grew up with good shit. Y'all grew up with having technology. Your parents allow you. Your parents allow you to go on YouTube and make YouTube videos. My parents didn't even allow me to do that shit. Right. If I remembered my password to my Google account to my old YouTube channel that I made in 2014, that channel wouldn't be up there. I wasn't even allowed to have a YouTube. And this time, I didn't know shit about Twitter. I didn't know nothing. I knew about Instagram, but I didn't really know what it was. I knew about Facebook, but I didn't really know what it was. And I knew about Skype. I knew Skype was like a thing you could video chat on. Right. But I never made those accounts. Even with DeviantArt, DeviantArt just seemed like a platform for you to share your arts on. But as you get older and the longer you stay on it, you start seeing some of the most deplorable shit coming from children. Not necessarily adults who can't draw, but children. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I had a TikTok for how long? A couple of months now. Yeah. A couple of months. 14 followers. None of which are children. And if they are kids, I block them. Same thing with fucking YouTube. You guys can't be. We can't as adults and as a young adults and maybe some people are like my age and they're already prego. No, our children should not have a smart device, not unless social media, until they're at least 16 years of age or whatever the age of consent is in your state or in your region. That includes in South Korea, because in South Korea the age of consent I believe is, I think it's 19. Can you fact check that for me? Sure. Um, it's 20. Oh, it's 20. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the age. So in South Korea, I will really just still be considered a minor. Right. Cool. Awesome. But and Guggen guy is how old? 13. No, Clay Mom and Gel Dad. Oh, yeah, 20. The older version of them. When I ask you about Gugu and Yaya in this kind of context like this, refer to them as Clay Mom and Gel Dad. That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the 20-year-old versions of them. I'm not talking to the 13-year-olds. All right. But no, no. Whatever the age of consent is, like in my state is 16, in Delaware is 18, in Florida is 18, in Texas is 17. Children should not have a social media until those ages. They shouldn't even have a phone until those ages. If they need a phone, they can have a house phone. If they need a mobile phone, they can use what we call an Obama phone. But they don't need a smartphone. They don't need anything that they can access the internet with. They really don't. And if we just put this into play, we put this into action, we can stop this shit. Now, we may not stop our kids from admitting that they're gay or saying that they're transgender. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a problem on its own for us Christians. That's a problem for, on its own. Now, as long as we can't stop that. All right, we cannot stop that because something could potentially happen to that 13-year-old that we don't know about. But regardless, it's still not okay. Just like when I was drawing porn, it still wasn't okay, regardless of what happened. But again, I have an alibi. Right. Now, if this 13-year-old kid was molested, then that would, see, now he don't need to be on the internet. He needs to be going to get help. His parents need to be going to get help. See what I'm saying? But you were drawing pornography at such a young age. See what I'm saying? I always say it's not your fault. But even though you knew it was, wrong or whatever you said. Were you even listening? Yeah, I'm listening. But it's still wrong regardless of the alibi. You see what I'm saying? Children should not be on the internet having, e-sex or whatever. It's not normal. Kids like that actually end up falling victim because of their maturity. And a lot of kids that look like they're well developed, they're not. I always tell Gugu and Yaya this, the 13-year-old kids. I always told them this. I said, just because you guys know what sex is and is well developed and whatever the fuck, like, and as maturity, that don't mean that you guys should go out and fuck. All right? That don't mean that you guys should go out and look at porn. But still under Yaya Land's law, Yaya Land's age of consent is 25. So really, Clay Mama Joe that's still minors in Yaya Land. But in South Korea and America, they're adults. They're over age of consent. But still, you shouldn't be doing that kind of shit, regardless of what it is. And it's not okay. It's not okay. All right. I mean, if you're gay, then that's okay. By the world, that's okay. If you're trans, then by the world, that's okay. But please know that being gay and being trans comes at a cost, a pretty hefty cost, and that cost is not nice. All right, it's really not nice. So if you have a Twitter and you see this 13-year-old femboy box kid, report his account. If you don't know what to report his account is, there is a option to report. When you report an account, you report a minor at risk. I'm gonna give you the steps verbally how to do that. Let's go to Twitter right here. So, for example, I'm gonna take and report this account. So if you're on a computer on a mobile phone, there's something with 3 dots. It says more, and you will have report at whatever username. They'll ask you what type of issue are you reporting. Scroll down and hit child safety and hit next. Then they're going to give you an option of child safeties like selling or distributing sexually explicit content involving a minor, sexualization of minors, grooming or online enticement of minors, child sex trafficking, physical child abuse, minor at risk, illustrated, cartoon, computer-generated media depicting a minor engaging in sexual act or childlike sex doll, which is kind of fucked up. Why would they have a childlike sex doll? I don't know why. That's disgusting. Underage user, or normalizing or glorifying acts of child sexual exploitation. You're going to click on minor at risk. All right. And then if they say, can you provide additional context? And it's required. So just say something along the lines that this minor is underage or is sexualizing themselves, yada yada yada, whatever the fuck are people are whatchamacallit, are contacting this kid, asking this kid for inappropriate content, all that kind of shit, yada yada yada, whatever the fuck, blase blase, and then you hit submit, and then afterwards Twitter will send you a notification, no less an email saying that they will have received your report. Now, is Twitter going to remove this account? Is Twitter going to remove this account? I don't know. Maybe not, because considering they remove the Lolly account, they probably not even going to remove this one. Alright, they probably give a fuck more about cartoon characters than they do real life breathing kids, which is kind of fucked up because I'm a victim of that shit myself. So that's how you report a minor being at risk on YouTube. I mean, fuck, at Twitter, on Twitter. And even though, yeah, this is a heavy topic, this is something that needs to be said. This is something that needs to be touched on. This cannot no longer be ignored. And from now on, when me and my sister are on Twitter or on any social media, including YouTube, because, we work on YouTube, and we see minors engaging in sexual activity and all that kind of shit, we're going to report their channel. I don't know about mass reporting, but we have a whole entire group on Gilded who are all adults. We'll send their account to these, to our group, and we'll make sure that these accounts are gone. All right? But please give sites like Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, when you do this kind of shit, some time, because they're not going to automatically take and remove this account. They gotta look into it, because people do be false flagging and false reporting. And then if you be doing that shit and you still end up getting your shit taken down and not giving it back, then you're a piece of shit. Social media. But yeah, that's all we gotta say. 7:40 now. We've been sitting here for an hour. My butt hurts. I bet it does. Alright, I'm gonna get this uploaded. Alright, guys. That's about it. See ya.